All right, y'all. So we're about to get into the tea because it is hot. But before we do that, we got to talk about this group trip to Vietnam, March 14th through the 20th of 2026. I want you to be there. If you have seen our trips to Bali, to Thailand, to Zanzibar, and our upcoming one to Cape Town, you don't want to miss this one to Vietnam. People ask me, why did I choose Vietnam? I mean, look at it. We got good pricing in terms of the currency conversion, so the dollar takes you further. We got beautiful landscapes and we got great Vietnamese food and shopping. Plus, 3 cities, so we're gonna be running around this country looking all types of crazy and all types of lit. And we got a 2 day luxury cruise, y'all. A 2 day luxury cruise. So I need you to go ahead and make your reservation today. Go ahead and make your deposit today. You can put it on a payment plan. Click the link in the description. Now we can really get into this tea. And y'all, just like Dr. Wendy, we are back in the building. Back in the building, y'all. Sky Squad, we back. We live. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm back. Dr. Wendy's back. I mean, we all back. Okay. Another Monday morning, we're recapping the Real Housewives of Potomac. And man, oh man, oh man, we're going to get into all the reasons why this episode for me was a complete 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10. What's up, Tracy? Listen. I'm so ready. Let me tell you something. I'm so ready for Vietnam. I'm ready to do Zanzibar all over again. We about to have a good old time. We about to have a good old time in this jamboree. Okay, so let's dive right in. Okay, Dr. Wendy is back on the gram. So before the episode aired yesterday, I was trucking it on the road, trucking it, right? And I happened to search. No, somebody sent this to me. I think one of the squad sent it to me. And I was like, okay. Oh, you two, yes. Listen, let them know how the trip was. Let them know how the trip was, man. So yeah, I was like, okay. And I was trying to ascertain how I felt about this post in light of what was going on, in light of Dr. Wendy's legal troubles. And my initial thought, I'm going to be honest with you guys, was, I don't know if I would be posting right now, right? Because there's so much that is going on. We know they have another hearing coming up on November. I think it's November 2nd, right? And so a part of me was like, I would, if I'm the PR person, I'm just going to advise them to keep quiet, right? Until that point in time. But I don't know if there is obligation to promote the show. I'm hearing that the network typically provides them with, videos to post if they want to do that. Somebody said it's November 7th. I know it's the coming up that first part of November. So we'll wait and see how that goes. Yes. Let's go. First Lady communicates. Let's go. It's beautiful there from everything that I'm seeing. And it's mostly because of this, right? This is part of the reason why I'm like, I don't know if I would be posting, because I think what people are going to be doing is really keeping their eyes peeled for what they might think or believe to be, jewelry that may have been listed as stolen in the burglary, and then now she is wearing them potentially, right? So that's a part of the reason why. But as I thought a little bit more on it, I began to just sort of look at the comments, right? And I see, Stacey Rush says, love you. Jacqueline Blake comments, Carlos King, Jesse Wu, Preston Mitchum. There's a lot of Wendy support. Escale Davis, Jackie Ina. I mean, it just goes across the board with people that are promoting, or not really promoting, but just it sounds like they are literally just like showing support, right? Showing love and support to Dr. Wendy. Also, too, I will let you know that Eddie Acefo posted as well. I'm not going to put his on the screen because it's a photo with them and their kids. But Wendy's post reads, and through it all, God remains faithful. Thank you for the outpouring of love, support, and prayers for myself, and most importantly, my family during this time. We are forever grateful. Tune into Bravo TV tonight for a new episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. And his says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. So as I thought a bit more on it, I thought to myself, well, I mean, maybe this is their way of showing some level of faith. Maybe this isn't about ego. Maybe this is more about like, we see your messages. We would just want to say thank you and promoting the new season. I don't really know. But it could be a number of things. C-Flow says she can't hear me. Can you guys hear me? It sounds like the rest of you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. But yeah, so I didn't know what to think when I saw it, but I kind of relaxed into it the more I processed it, especially seeing the amount of support. Okay, you guys are saying, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, perfect. All right, so there is that. Okay, crystal clear. Crystal clear. Okay. So it's very interesting, right? It's very interesting because yes, it is sort of, it is very much that in this country we are innocent until proven guilty. But I think with the picture that was painted for us, it's very hard to picture that innocence, right? So, but does that mean that they can't still thank God even if they did do it? I mean, maybe, because everybody has a past. I don't really know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. I mean, I feel like for me, let me analyze it in this way real quick before we get into the episode. All right, so here it is for me. This is what it is. Wendy has become a person that on this show people have wanted to root for. So in her trying time, or in this period of time, people will still likely want to root for her. There are those people that also have never probably liked Wendy. So they would probably always think, well, Wendy is, ego driven. She's stuck up. They will, if that is your perspective of Wendy, that's what you're going to think. So it is going to be a lot easier to think, well, y'all trying to keep up with the Joneses, this, that, and the third. So the post is interesting to me because I feel like if you're a Wendy fan, you're going to love it. And if you're not a Wendy fan, or if you just are an observer, right? Like me, myself, I love Wendy. I love, I liked her, what she brought on the show, and it is, the whole thing is disappointing to me. But I look at it also from the lens of communications, crisis, PR management. I don't know that I would have posted this or that I would have posted anything just yet, but that's just me. All right. And there we have it. That's where it starts and stops, Michelle. I think that's the genesis. I mean, not the genesis, but that is the overarching theme. I think that we're going to see here is that they will need God throughout this journey, and we're going to leave it at that. I like what you said. And this is the thing. There are certain people out there that are going to think we don't care. We love Wendy, and that's that. And I think that's the core of this message, is that whether or not we think it was smart or not to post that, it offered an opportunity for at least me to see that there are at least 43,000 people out there that love her and want to see her win, especially based on the comments. Now, based on last night's episode, she was a winner chicken dinner. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and give it to y'all. Let's break it on down. I know that's what you came for. So let's get all the way into it. Okay. All the way into it. I do like this comment as well. Kelvin says she has a contractual obligation to promote the season. That's just it. It's only normal for Christians to look on God during hard times. Nothing wrong with that. And let he who is without sin. Bloop, 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 bloop. Hey. I got to tell y'all a little story. I ain't gonna deviate too much, but Tracy came on our Zanzibar trip. She had us cracking up. Thank God she is coming on our Vietnam trip. It is about to be so lit. This 10,000. If I could, I'll have to tell y'all this story on another day because this thing had me cracking up the whole trip. Okay. The whole trip. Okay. Season 10, episode 3 is called Chin Checked. Y'all, I have never heard chin checked so many times in my life. I don't even think I've ever even used that term, to be quite frank with you. Chime down in the chat if you have ever been chin checked, if you have ever done the chin checking, if you've ever seen a chin check. Do you want to be chin checked? Do you need a new chin? I mean, what is it with the chin check? Because I've had about enough. Okay. The episode is titled Chin Checked. Indeed. Wendy and Keiarna try to find common ground, but dueling events put them at odds with one another. Stacey discovers a secret Giselle has been hiding from the group, and tensions boil over at a brunch when Angel's loyalties are called into question. As I stated at the beginning of this video, this episode was a 10 out of 10 for me. I was literally watching this episode and I was cracking up. There were so many little things that I felt like I could just latch onto. And I think at the core of this episode, it reminded me of why I loved Housewives. This episode did something that I feel like Salt Lake does a lot. It was very chaotic, but it was unexpectedly chaotic. And the key players were not indeed Giselle and Ashley, who have been the OGs of this franchise. It was literally everybody else. And that is what I liked about it. Everybody they were wearing Angel out, okay? They were wearing her out. Keiarna was wearing her out. Giselle was wearing her out. Stacey was wearing her out just a tad bit. Wendy was wearing her out. She was wore out to the floor out, okay? And it was a perfect initiation for her. And the thing about it is, I like her. I actually understood where Angel was coming from. But in the Housewives world, girl, you got to stand on 10 with everything that you say and the energy with which you said it, okay? That's lesson number 1. And I think she learned it last night. A hard lesson indeed. I was frustrated for her. I felt for her because I understand her type of personality. Sometimes you don't always process things. You process things one way in 1 minute and then another way in another. But I also felt like, girl, you did get chin checked last night. All right. You got chin checked left and right. Okay. It was like chin. It was kind of like whack her again. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like, gosh, poor Angel. Giselle was unintentionally absolutely hilarious last night. From her Poochie inspired. I don't know if that was a Poochie onesie she had on or if it was Sesame Street, to be quite honest with you. But on the screen, it looked like somebody had just threw up, right? Somebody threw up on a cream jumpsuit. That's what it looked like to me. When she came in the room and into Keiarna's party, her bruncherization with that outfit on, I said, Giselle, what? Now, see, now you didn't just gone too far. You have gone too far. Okay, you have gone way too far. Why is there so much happening in this outfit? Why are you the only person, okay, looking like you got dressed at Party City? Why? Beautiful woman, sometimes just the worst of fashions, right? Okay, I mean, we got to call a thing on that one. It just be like startling to your eyes, like what is that? What is that? Really, truly. Um, but on the flip side, Giselle cracked me up this entire episode. Giselle is at her best when she's when she's stirring the drama. She is not at her best when she is confronted with her stirring of the drama. Okay? That is the distinction that I have made with Giselle. Giselle has actually blossomed on this show because the Giselle of yesterday was very much giving first lady energy, hoity toity, kind of nose up in the air. I'm better than Giselle in this last season and this season is very relaxed. She is very much about jokes on you. I'm about to get you, sucker. Like it, that's the energy she get. I love it. I don't know what you know what it was? She ain't got nobody she ain't got nobody that's going up against her. That's it. That's it. Robin gone, and she ain't got nobody going up against her. So now she can relax. And I like this Giselle. I like it a lot. I feel like every episode she is having a good time. In her confessional, she is having a good time. And I feel like when Giselle is having a good time, the show is much better. Period. Okay? When she sat in that confessional and said, they finally gave me another trip. They have finally given me another event. I mean, it won't nobody else left to do it. Karen gone. They break the fourth wall so much on this show and in this episode. It's just not even funny. I was like, oh, she's kind of right. Ain't nobody left. Ashley already had her bloom and blossom event. You know what I'm saying? Her blimey blooming event. Man, the episode was so good. I immediately wanted to watch it again. Okay, I wanted to watch it again. I don't even know who we talk about next, but it's either going to be Keiarna or Wendy. So it's going to be a mixture of both. Okay, because they were the other two. The MVPs had to be Stacey, Wendy, and Keiarna. Okay, let's get into the three of them. In last night's episode, the first thing that we see is obviously we see Stacey with her daughter, right, at the dance or the Miss DC pageant, something or other, Miss Little Girl pageant. And then we see Dr. Wendy and Keiarna sit down for a Ponderosa in which neither one of them looked like they wanted to be there. Okay. Nobody wanted to be there. Oh, let me answer this question. What does it mean when you guys say break the fourth wall? Okay, let me explain that real quick. So the fourth wall is kind of like, it's like talking to the camera, right? It's like acknowledging that this is actually a television show as well as they're filming our real lives, right? So when Giselle says, y'all finally gave me another event, like they finally gave me another event, referring to either production or the group at large. But then she acknowledges that, I mean, who else is going to do this? Because Karen, somebody's in jail. I mean, it's like, or somebody went to jail. It's kind of like acknowledging that there's an audience, that there are cameras, that there's a show. Even when Keiarna and Wendy sit down, Keiarna breaks the fourth wall and says, you only talk to me about the show, right? Not normally back in the day, they would have cut that out of the scene because they don't want to acknowledge that this is a TV show, right? So that's kind of what we mean. They break the fourth wall. They break that wall and acknowledge that this is a television show. That's what it means. But good question, because not everybody may know that. Let me know, how did you guys feel about Keiarna last night? I want to see something in the chat. I want to know, do you love Keiarna now, or do you loathe Keiarna now? Or do you feel ambivalent, meaning I don't really care one way or another? And I'm going to give you my opinion, okay? I just want to see what you guys think. I didn't know what the name of it was. Bonita says, I think she's trying too hard. Angela says, Wendy is being mean. I don't understand why she was laughing. I'm going to tell you why I think she was laughing. I'm going to get into it. Esco says, loathe Keiarna. Kathy says, love Keiarna. Ooh. Alindria says, K equals Shamia. K is annoying me. She's giving Shamia vibes. Stacey Washington says, I think she's not expressing herself right. Shanta says, split on K, but I like her. Quick thoughts by, is it Tati? Did I pronounce that right? Her voice and actions get on my nerves. K Avery, still love K, but it's a few things I can do without. Alex says, replace with Jazzy. Dory says, K is getting on my dang nerves. Okay, so let me give you my perspective on their sit down. So when they sit down, I'm going to tell you what I don't like about K right off the bat, but I would love to meet her in person, because I don't know that what I see on TV reads as well as she probably intends, or maybe she doesn't care, but I think that she's interesting. I don't want to lose. I wouldn't want to lose this version of Kay on the show, because you need somebody who is like Kay. She is, I'm going to say this, but she said it in the episode about herself. And I know sometimes we have a weird relationship with that word aggressive, but I think when it is what it is, we got to call it what it is. Kay has a very aggressive tone when she is confronting people. And whether or not she means to have it, she admitted to having it in the van, in the Sprinter later on. So I'm not saying nothing that I don't think that she hadn't said herself. She has a super aggressive tone that would definitely not work for me. Okay? It would not work for me. The way she's actually talking to Wendy, I'm shocked that Wendy is even sitting there entertaining the conversation, to be quite honest with you, because she's over talking Wendy. She's not really letting Wendy get her thoughts in very much. And when Wendy does kind of want to get her thoughts in, she kind of has to kind of sort of railroad Kay into like, girl, let me speak, right? And at one point, Wendy has to tell her, girl, calm down, right? And so her method of communicating, it does feel very aggressive. So later on, when Stacey says what she says to her in the Sprinter, which we'll get to, I actually thought, I mean, what Stacey said could be taken two ways. Ashley took it one way, but I didn't take it the way that Ashley took it. But I think it was valid, personally. Because I feel like if you're gonna come off that strong when somebody gets you good, you can't you gotta be able to accept it and take it personally. But I like that personality on Housewives, because she's gonna find herself in hot water a lot with a lot of people, and a lot of people are gonna find themselves in hot water with her. And that's what you want on these shows. You want somebody that kind of communicates a little bit off kilter. And I like that she just simply says whatever she's thinking. If that's what she thinks and that's what she feels, whether, as Wendy says, it's rehearsed or not, that is what she feels. But I do get the general sense that Kay is annoyed with Wendy. So Kay is basically like, first things first, Preakness is coming up. You know, I already did the legwork to have this event. Wendy's like, well, excuse me, girl, I've already did the legwork by getting myself invited by the overarching person. I don't know who, the queen of Preakness. So I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. I have never been to Preakness. It's a horse race, I think. I'm probably going to be an outcast among the Marylanders, but I've never been. And that's just that. I mean, maybe one day I will go and see what it is. Somebody in the chat, if you could tell me if it's the cat's meow, maybe next year I'll make my way down and try to go. But otherwise, it's not on my menu, right? It's not on my menu. So I don't know who the lady is above the supervisor of the board of educators of Preakness has invited Wendy, the queen of the night of Preakness has invited Dr. Wendy. And so now we have two dueling events similar to the ones that we had last year with Giselle and with Karen. You guys remember that? A little bit of callback. Okay, so I guess Preakness is supposed to give like Kentucky Derby vibes. Maybe, I don't know. So there's that little issue. So they kind of get through that. And Kay is basically very much like, I got all these problems with you. I feel like you don't, I feel like basically your friendship is fake and you only want to talk to me about TV stuff. And outside of us talking about TV stuff, when I see you out and about, like you're not my real girlfriend, right? That's what I get. And for Wendy actually is like, well, girl, I've seen red flags in you, which I don't necessarily think was true. But I really do think that Wendy is probably very, like I said before, in her housewife's bag, doing the events, the galas, getting with the designers and doing all the things. And also, Wendy is married and has kids. And I don't know if that has anything to do with how she relates to her friends. But I do know that a lot of people who are married and with kids, or even people who have kids, their lives are a little bit different than perhaps like somebody like Kay, who I don't know. I don't think she has any kids. We don't see any on the show. So I would have to assume she doesn't have any kids. So it may be a little bit of a different level of friendship that Kay has to get used to in dealing with Wendy, because Wendy has other obligations that Kay just does not have. So maybe there's a little bit of a time consideration that I think that Kay may have to give to Wendy, because they are in two kind of different phases with where their lives are at the moment, right? And so what Kay wants in a friend is not maybe what Wendy has to give as a friend, because Wendy's basically like, you're, as a grown woman, I mean, these issues to me are basically juvenile. And I do get that. When you get older and when you get grown, like, I don't really hang out like that. I don't. Like, I'm not just hanging out, okay? I'm not just yapping it up on the phone. I'm really not. Like, okay, if I need to catch up with you, let's go get something to eat, but that's about it. I don't see a lot of my friends very often. Like, I'm not just hanging out at their house. Like, it's not like that. Period. But I respect Keiarna for giving her expectations and her wants and desires as a friend. I think if she had said to Wendy, hey girl, like, am I missing something here? Like, I feel like our friendship maybe am I perceiving our friendship differently than what you perceive it as? I think that the way she approached Wendy could have been a lot different. But Wendy is basically laughing at her. Like, Wendy is laughing in her face. And I feel like Wendy was laughing because I felt like she was like, girl, are you serious right now? Is this really serious? Are you coming to me with this real issue? Are you really, truly serious? And I felt like at that point, Wendy just couldn't take her serious no more and just decided to say, you know what, girl, it gave big sis, little sis vibes in that moment. That's what it felt like to me. That's why it felt like Wendy was laughing to me. That's what I took from it. That's how I felt about it in that moment. And they go in a passive aggressive hug. Okay. The next thing that we see, where Jazzy is brought back in. I guess she's now going to be brought back into the group as Stacey's friend versus being Mia's friend, but whatever. They catch up. The core of this conversation is that while Giselle is so interested in knowing what's going on with Stacey, Stacey's like, I've got photos that was on the blogs of Giselle with this man. Does anybody know who that man was? I could not see it when I was watching it, and I didn't even feel like scrolling back. but is he like an NFL player or something like that? If you saw his name in the chat, put it in the chat, because they did emphasize who it was, or it looked like it was on the screen, and I couldn't tell if it was blurred or not. All I know was the reason why I didn't invest too much in it last night, because I knew that we would never see this man on the show. I mean, is we gonna see him? We ain't gonna see him. So yeah, what it kind of was like, what was the point? She's not gonna admit it. She's not gonna tell us nothing. She's not gonna give us no information, and men not gonna show up on screen. Okay, so moving right along. The girls, i.e., Giselle, is taking the girls away to some island in the Bahamas or something like that, Nevi or something. I don't know what she said. And I'm sorry to the island, but I just don't remember the name, and I know I'm mispronouncing it, but it's like these, details, baby, details. So she is taking them to away in a couple of weeks. And what she wants to do with the girls is she wants to take them shopping at this little store. Now, Wendy say this store look like it's a store for grandma, but she takes Wendy, Tia, and Angel shopping. Now, during this shopping trip, they talk about the issues that have come up with Keiarna and Wendy, and Wendy's just basically like, I don't know. I'm at peace. She's in pieces. What I can't tell you. I don't have an issue with the girl. And they move on to, of course, Giselle is conducting this conversation like she is literally the freight train conductor. And she's like, so are you and Keiarna okay, Angel? And Angel basically tells the group that Keiarna has said, I did not say that I chin checked you. I don't remember saying chin check. And Giselle is aghast because she's like, but you did say chin check, girl. She did say chin check. And Angel is very much in that moment like, well, I would think that after what she has been through, that she would not be using that type of language about me. That is where I realized, and let me tell you something, I might be in the minority here, but I did not know when somebody meant chin check. I didn't think that they meant it in like bloop, you get your chin checked, right? I thought it was like, let me let you know what's up, right? But apparently it really means, you know what I'm saying? So that's why when Angel is like, no, she not trying to chin check me because she done been through some things with when that girl popped her with the bottle or whatever like that, right? Well, Wendy basically says it, right? And that's what happened. That did happen. Okay, so that conversation ends, and then it is time for Keiarna's brunch before the Preakness. And so Greg is there. Greg is suddenly very friendly with the camera. He must have had the daylight scared out of him when she left him, because that man is front and center for her. Let me get your stuff for you, babe. Let me do this for you, babe. I'm all up in the camera. Hey, camera. How you doing, camera? Eyes here. Eyes here. And Mama is there, who I also said should have been a housewife, but I digress. Because Mama is going to be sitting in the back of the scene after she tells Giselle she's not going to be in the scene, but she's in the back of the scene like, let me make sure ain't nobody chin checking my daughter. But Miss Mama, I don't think you need to worry about anybody chin checking. Well, I don't know. But I don't think you need to. It looked like Keiarna can handle her own, and Keiarna can do a lot of chin checking on her own. So the girls start arriving, right? And when Stacey is invited, oddly, because her and Keiarna don't get along. And so she's like, oh, Greg, what are you doing here? I thought that girl broke up with you. And he's like, well, I was here to support, you know what I'm saying? I'm here. I'm showing up on camera. I'm doing the things. I'm proving my love, and I am here, but I'm not here. I'm not in the scene. Bye. And so Stacey's confused, and then she continues on into the room. The rest of the ladies begin to show up, and then it's time to sit down. Dr. Wendy sachets in her outfit, And she's like, yes, the new grand dame has arrived. Okay, I have arrived and the spotlight is on me. That's the energy she gave when she walked in. I ain't mad at it because she did look good, but the way she came sashaying in there, I thought I was watching Real Housewives of Atlanta for a moment. I mean, because Wendy came sashaying in there, hips was swaying, looking like she was on a mission, baby. And she was basically like, well, let's get this pregame started before we get to the real game, which is my event that was given to me by the queen of the night, the queen of Preakness, the first lady of Maryland, the first lady of the world. I have got the keys to the kingdom, and this is just the preamble. Okay, we are just here for a little hits and giggles before my event gets started. My event, which is the event, the main event, and this is just a small thing before we head over to the racehorses, where I shall remain in the spotlight. I will be queen of the night next to the queen of Maryland. I will be up on the podium, standing like the Statue of Liberty, and you peasants will be looking. I will be looking down at you, and you will be looking up at me. And Keiarna, you are down here, and I am up here, and still I rise like Stacey. That was the energy she gave when she walked in the dome. And so as she sits on down, they get into a little bit of a discussion about, okay, well, I forget what the word was. I mean, what the word on the street, what it really was. But all I know is that it kind of was like Keiarna felt like, I don't know if Keiarna feels a little bit like she's in competition with Dr. Wendy, especially with regards to these events, because she ends up telling Dr. Wendy that she likes to be first, better, best. There was something that Stacey told us that Karen said about Dr. Wendy that sounded very similar. And it makes me wonder if Karen and Keiarna also had similar conversations about Dr. Wendy. Because if I go back into last season and I think about the things that Stacey alleges that Karen said about Dr. Wendy, Kay is seemingly echoing some of those sentiments. So either it is coinky dink or either it was communication prior to Karen going away. I'm just a viewer. So I'm just trying to put two and two together. I'm not saying Kay can't have her own opinions, because clearly she's strong-willed. She's beautiful, strong-willed, has a mind of her own, and can stand on her own. But, I mean, given how close her and Karen were, I can't help but wonder, because some of those same sentiments were being echoed, if they ever had any conversations about Dr. Wendy. So, now, and Wendy's like, well, I don't understand why you always want to have a problem with me. Girl, let it go, Elsa. Speaking of problems, Giselle is going to introduce a new problem. Angel Girl, you said that Kay said that she didn't say chin check, which would make me a liar. And I'm not a liar. I might be many things, but a liar is not one of them. So what's T? And so Angel is very much like, I mean, and so Kay is like, well, I don't know if Kay basically is like, if she told Angel she did not say it, she very much gives, I said it in this moment when confronted by Giselle. Thank you, Bianca. Kay very much, now that I think about it, Kay basically said with the quickness in front of Giselle, yeah, I said it. So why did you tell Angel that you didn't say it? I mean, now I'm kind of like, what's the tea, girl? What is wrong with your memory? Because we saw it. We saw it. And so to me, as Angel is kind of like processing this, she kind of, I don't know, it's like, it felt like to me, Angel and Kay have maybe had some conversations behind the scenes of like, girl, it don't go against me, right? You're supposed to have my back in this situation. Because Angel seems real demure in her reaction to what Kay is saying, because she's like, okay, girl, all is forgiven if you said it. But your energy the other day was very much like, surely she wouldn't have said that about me. I'm her friend, and she should know about chin. She should know about chin checking because of what she went through before with Deborah when they got into that physical altercation. That's the energy she gave the other day. Giselle calls her out on that. Dr. Wendy calls her out on it. Now, Dr. Wendy is very specific about it. Like, girl, your whole thing was very, very much different. You was given a whole different vibe the other day when you found out she said that when we told you she did say chin check. Now, what is the tea? Now, a part of me felt like, now, Dr. Wendy, do you just want that heat to be taken off of you? Okay. But at the end of the day, she was right. And Dr. Wendy was not the only one that said it about Angel. Giselle said it. Tia said it. Dr. Wendy said it. And now Angel is looking like confused, like, how I get caught up in this matrix? And then Keiarna tells her, well, listen, girl, whatever conversations you had with them, let that be the last conversation that you have with them about me. Okay? And and Angel is just sitting there like, okay, yes, master. Yes, ma'am. And I was looking like, girl, I get it. That's your girl, and you trying to figure out where your position is in this group. Maybe at that point she didn't know if she was gonna be full-time or not. And she felt like maybe she needed that. I got to have Keiarna's back because I'm just a friend right now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I don't, because sometimes you don't know if you're gonna be a friend of until the end of the season. You might not know. You may not know. So your best guess is to possibly anchor yourself to the one person that you got, because you don't want to turn on them until season 2 when you done made it officially. That's when you turn on your friend. That's when everybody turn on their friend in the next season, not the first season. The first season, you latch yourself on to that one person. So it made me wonder, was she just latching herself on so tight so she can have a spot? And listen, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that the woman is insecure. I am simply saying that the woman is new, okay, and trying to figure it out, which Keiarna indicates on Watch What Happens Live. So she's gotten herself in a cloudy matrix, some murky waters, and she don't know how to get herself out of it. And now she's upset. Okay, she is clearly upset, and they didn't chin check her so bad, baby. Let me tell you something. If Keiarna didn't chin check her before, she certainly chin checked her tonight. All right. So at that point, Greg has to intervene, and Mama is sitting in the background supervising, like, don't nobody but a chin check my daughter. And I'm thinking to myself, Miss Mama, I don't think you got to worry about it, because she just chin checked Ashley down. Angel down to the ground. She chin checked Angel down to the all the way down to the sprinter. She chin checked Angel off the balcony, actually. So, Mama, you fine. Your daughter fine. She can handle herself, clearly. And it did make me wonder, like, I get what they were saying about Angel, because, like, she did have one energy with them, and then she had one energy in front of Keiarna. But the same could be said for Keiarna, right? She had one energy with Giselle in private, and then she has another energy in front of the group, and then another energy when she's in private with Angel, clearly. But the most chaotic comes in the sprinter. Baby, let me tell you something. This was given Salt Lake City sprinter vibes. They're headed to Preakness, and they're sitting in the sprinter pouring some champagne. And, Keiarna is trying to educate Angel on how the group's dynamics work. Angel reveals that she was upset in the in the condo upstairs at brunch. And eventually, Keiarna is very vocal. Like, she is very vocal, okay? Very vocal. And her and Stacey end up getting into it. Her and Wendy end up getting into it. And to me, at this point, I felt like Wendy was like, I'm just going to poke you now. I'm just going to poke you because you are easily aggravated, all right? You are easily aggravated. I felt like Stacey said, I'm about to poke you too. Poke, poke, poke. And I felt like Dr. Wendy was like, I'm going to poke you too, Angel. Poke, poke, poke. Because when Keiarna spilt the champagne, or she almost like choked on her champagne or something like that, or she spilled it, Wendy told Angel, well, that's your friend of 20 years. Why don't you wipe up her, why don't you wipe that saliva up with your dress? I'm like, what? What? I'm like, okay, so you just poking at this girl now. Now y'all poking the bear. All right, now y'all poking it. But Stacey and Keiarna get into it because Stacey feels like Keiarna's always mean to her. And at a certain point, Keiarna's like, girl, I don't even care no more, or whatever like that. And that turns into like the two of them going back and forth. And Stacey says something to the effect like, ooh, I don't want to get chin checked because we sure know how to do that. Ashley then takes that as Stacey clapping back at Keiarna, utilizing Keiarna's getting clocked with the bottle by Deborah. But I'm like, Ashley, what are you so upset about? That was your friend that did that to her. Your friend that clocked her with the bottle. It was you last season that said she got her salon with the white powder stuff money. It was you with a man who I don't know, some kind of way you were saying that she was dating somebody that paid for her salon or something like that. It was you, ma'am. What are you doing getting upset about somebody else potentially even bringing up something that your friend did? It was your friend that created this situation with Keiarna. It was your friend that did all that. It was your friend at the center of that controversy. So why are you traumatized by this whole situation? Why are you upset at Stacey for potentially bringing it up? And I didn't even take it as Stacey bringing it up. I took it as Stacey turning a mirror on Keiarna over the chin check situation, because Keiarna is the one who introduced chin check to the group. She is the one who told Giselle she chin checked her good friend Angel. She is the one who said it. Why are you traumatized by something that your friend did to her? Make it make sense. If you don't like Stacey, just say you don't like her. How are you going to chin check Stacey now because you traumatized by something that she said, because you want to take it and run with it and make it something about something that ain't? Your imagination needs to be chin checked. And I like you, Ashley, girl. I'll still buy you a drink. But I mean, come on now. Come on. Make it make sense. It did not make sense at all. You ran with a whole thing. Number one, in the premiere episode, or was it the second episode? I can't remember what it was. I think it was the second episode. Keiarna referenced to Stacey that, yes, I know how to fight, and you should know that. Stacey said, well, I sure do. We know you know how to fight. Nobody got mad then. Keiarna referenced it then. Were you traumatized then, Ashley? Probably not. Stacey didn't even reference the bottle. She referenced chin check. According to Keiarna and Andy, this is the last we will hear of the chin check. Okay, for those of you guys who are tired of the chin check, yeah, we won't hear about it anymore. So honestly, y'all, it was a good episode. I was here for it all. I was here for Stacey. I was here for Keiarna. I was here for Dr. Wendy. I was here for Angel. Poor Angel. Justice for Angel. She's so new. She's so new and so cute. I was just like, girl, oh God, they just whacked you to pieces last night. Oh my goodness. Oh God. Oh God. Meanwhile, Giselle is laughing all the way to the bank. Baby, Giselle is yakking it up in every episode. And I have to say, she's so giddy with a glow that I just love to see it. I love to see it. Period. So that is why for me, this episode was a 10 out of 10. Despite the fact that we're talking about chin checks, and despite the fact that there is the bottle hitting reference, I liked it because it didn't feel too dark. It's chaotic enough that there was nothing that was like, oh my God, like this is terrible. I don't want to watch anymore. There was nothing like that. So I just feel like this was a good episode to me. And I'm actually going to go watch it again. Yeah, I'm going to watch it again. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think, right? Let me know what you guys think about the episode. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. For those of you guys who are watching later, to everybody in the chat, I want to say thank you so much. If you could smash that like button before you go, we would absolutely love that. We would love it to keep that engagement going. It costs nothing for you to smack, slap, flip it up, rub it down. For those of you guys who have subscribed to the Substack, that link is down below. Substack is essentially like a little bit of a newsletter. It's a newsletter type space where I can send you guys updates. You will get an update in your email and to your cell phone that will tell you when I'm going live or when I post about something new. It's going to replace the texting system that I was using before. That whole thing has gotten to be very cumbersome and very, very expensive. And I just feel like there's a better route to go that I can get messages out to you guys a lot easier, a lot faster, and I can write a lot more as well. With that being said, I caught that too. I caught that. Catch, as Mariah and Quad used to say. Also, guys, listen, our trip to Vietnam is coming up March 14th through the 20th. You can make a deposit down below in the link in the description. I don't know if you guys saw. Oh, snap. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. But yeah, if you guys want to go with us to Vietnam, I do have some more spaces left. If you're thinking about doing it, go ahead and make your reservation now. Just make your deposit, and then you can pay over time. We have 3 cities that we're going to. A 2-day luxury cruise is in the middle of that. And of course, we're going to be eating a lot of Vietnamese food, a lot of bonding, climbing a couple of mountains. We're going to be doing all the things. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.